Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we tell you about Mussolini and Fascist Italy, the socialist agitations that followed the devastation of the Great War. Inspired by the Russian Revolution, led to counter-revolution and repression throughout Italy. The liberal establishment, fearing a Soviet-style revolution, started to endorse the small National Fascist Party, led by Benito Mussolini. In October 1922, the black shirts of the National Fascist Party attempted a mass demonstration and a coup named the March on Rome, which failed but at the last minute. King Victor Emmanuel III refused to proclaim a state of siege and appointed Mussolini prime minister, thereby transferring political power to the fascists without armed conflict. Over the next few years, Mussolini banned all political parties and curtailed personal liberties, thus forming a dictatorship. These actions attracted international attention and eventually inspired similar dictatorships such as Nazi Germany and Francoist Spain. Italian fascism is based upon Italian nationalism and imperialism, and in particular seeks to complete what it considers as the incomplete project of the unification of Italy by incorporating Italia Irredenta, unredeemed Italy, into the state of Italy. To the east of Italy, the fascists claimed that Dalmatia was a land of Italian culture whose Italians, including those of Italianized South Slavic descent, had been driven out of Dalmatia and into exile in Italy, and supported the return of Italians of Dalmatian heritage. 139. Mussolini identified Dalmatia as having strong Italian cultural roots for centuries, similarly to Istria, via the Roman Empire and the Republic of Venice, to the south of Italy. The fascists claimed Malta, which belonged to the United Kingdom, and Corfu, which instead belonged to Greece. To the north claimed Italian Switzerland, while to the west claimed Corsica, Nice, and Savoy, which belonged to France. The fascist regime produced literature on Corsica that presented evidence of the island's Italianita. The fascist regime produced literature on Nice that justified that Nice was an Italian land based on historic, ethnic, and linguistic grounds. The Armistice of Villa Giusti, which ended fighting between Italy and Austria-Hungary at the end of World War I, resulted in Italian annexation of neighboring parts of Yugoslavia. During the interwar period, the fascist Italian government undertook a campaign of Italianization in the areas it annexed, which suppressed Slavic language, schools, political parties, and cultural institutions. Between 1922 and the beginning of World War II, the affected people were also the German-speaking and Ladine-speaking populations of Trentino, Alto Adige, and the French and Arpitan-speaking regions of the Western Alps, such as the Aosta Valley. Mussolini promised to bring Italy back as a great power in Europe, building a new Roman Empire, 145, and holding power over the Mediterranean Sea. In propaganda, fascists used the ancient Roman motto, Mare Nostrum, Latin for our sea, to describe the Mediterranean. For this reason the fascist regime engaged in interventionist foreign policy. In 1923, the Greek island of Corfu was briefly occupied by Italy, after the assassination of General Tellini in Greek territory. In 1925, Italy forced Albania to become a de facto protectorate. In 1935, Mussolini invaded Ethiopia and founded Italian East Africa, resulting in an international alienation and leading to Italy's withdrawal from the League of Nations. Italy allied with Nazi Germany in the Empire of Japan and strongly supported Francisco Franco in the Spanish Civil War. In 1939, Italy formally annexed Albania. Italy entered World War II on the 10th of June 1940. after initially advancing in British Somaliland, Egypt, the Balkans, where the Governorate of Dalmatia was created, and eastern fronts. The Italians were defeated in East Africa, Soviet Union and North Africa. During World War II, Italian war crimes included extrajudicial killings and ethnic cleansing by deportation of about 25,000 people, mainly Jews, Croats, and Slovenians, to the Italian concentration camps, such as Rab, Gonars, Monago, Renici di Anghiari, and elsewhere. Yugoslav partisans perpetrated their own crimes against the local ethnic Italian population, Istrian Italians and Dalmatian Italians, during and after the war, including the Foiba massacres. In Italy and Yugoslavia, unlike in Germany, few war crimes were prosecuted. An Allied invasion of Sicily began in July 1943. Leading to the collapse of the fascist regime and the fall of Mussolini on the 25th of July. Mussolini was deposed and arrested by order of King Victor Emmanuel III in cooperation with the majority of the members of the Grand Council of Fascism, which passed a motion of no confidence. On the 8th of September, Italy signed the Armistice of Cassibile, ending its war with the Allies. Shortly thereafter, the Germans, with the assistance of the Italian fascists, succeeded in taking control of northern and central Italy. The country remained a battlefield for the rest of the war, with the Allies slowly moving up from the south. In the north, the Germans set up the Italian Social Republic, RSI, a Nazi puppet state with Mussolini installed as leader after he was rescued by German paratroopers. Some Italian troops in the south were organized into the Italian County Belligerent Army, which fought alongside the Allies for the rest of the war, while other Italian troops, loyal to Mussolini and his RSI, continued to fight alongside the Germans in the National Republican Army. Also, the post-armistice period saw the rise of a large anti-fascist resistance movement, the Resistenza, which fought a guerrilla war against the Nazi German occupiers and Italian fascist forces. As a result, the country descended into civil war. In late April 1945, with total defeat looming, Mussolini attempted to escape north, but was captured and summarily executed near Lake Como by Italian partisans. His body was then taken to Milan, where it was hung upside down at a service station for public viewing and to provide confirmation of his demise. Hostilities ended on the 29th of April 1945, when the German forces in Italy surrendered. Nearly 500,000 Italians, including civilians, died in the conflict. Society was divided and the Italian economy had been all but destroyed. Per capita income in 1944 was at its lowest point since the beginning of the 20th century. The aftermath of World War II left Italy also with an anger against the monarchy for its endorsement of the fascist regime for the previous 20 years. These frustrations contributed to a revival of the Italian Republican movement.